Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we reveal some of the most valuable coins in the world, coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands or even millions for. Imagine holding the literal weight of the American dream in the palm of your hand, a tiny copper disc that most people would ignore if they saw it lying on a sidewalk. We are talking about the legendary 1956 D-Wheat penny, a coin that has transcended its humble origins to become a titan of the numismatic world. For the sophisticated collector and the visionary investor, this is not just a cent. It is a $998,000 opportunity waiting to be claimed. Right now, as you sit in your home, there is a very real possibility that a fortune is tucked away in an old jar or a forgotten collection, silently accumulating value while the rest of the world sleeps on the greatest wealth-building secret of our generation. The year 1956 was an era of unprecedented growth and elegance in America, and the Denver Mint was producing millions of coins, yet among that massive output, a handful of miracles occurred. These are the errors that defy the odds, the strikes so perfect or so uniquely flawed that they have become the most hunted treasures in the United States. You might feel a surge of excitement just thinking about it, but you must also feel the urgency because the market for these high-grade rarities is exploding. Collectors with deep pockets are currently scouring the globe for the 1956 D-error, and they are willing to pay nearly $1 million to secure their legacy. Ask yourself this. If you discovered you had been carrying $1 million check in your pocket for years without cashing it, how would you feel? That is exactly what is happening to thousands of Americans who overlook the D-Mint mark beneath the date. Now, let us dive into the technical brilliance that makes this specific coin a masterpiece of financial gain. While most 1956 pennies are common, the elite errors, specifically the repunched mint marks and the rare planchet flaws, are what drive the price into the stratosphere. These coins represent a moment where the machinery of the mint faltered, creating a one-of-a-kind artifact that can never be replicated. The demand is so high that auction houses are seeing bidding wars that resemble high-stakes theater. You have to wonder, is your current retirement plan as robust as a single piece of copper that has survived 6 decades of history? Don't worry. I'm not suggesting you quit your job to become a full-time treasure hunter, but perhaps it's time to look at your spare change with a lot more respect and a little more scrutiny. The beauty of the 1956 D-Wheat penny lies in its deceptive simplicity, as it hides its true value from the untrained eye. This is where your authority as a collector begins to shine, because knowing what to look for is the difference between a life of standard comfort and a life of absolute luxury. We are seeing a massive shift in wealth where tangible assets, especially rare U.S. coinage, are outperforming traditional investments. The current market value of $998,000 for a top-tier 1956 D-error is a testament to the fact that rarity is the ultimate currency. There is a certain fear in realizing how many of these might have been lost to time, but for the person who finds one today, that fear turns into the pure adrenaline of a life-changing windfall. As we move toward the pinnacle of this journey, you must understand that the window for acquiring these coins at manageable prices is closing rapidly. The elite 30 to 65 demographic in America is waking up to the realization that their heritage is paved with copper and silver. You deserve to be part of the upper echelon of collectors who don't just save money but own history. The 1956 D is the crown jewel of the mid-50s, a symbol of a time when America was the undisputed leader of the world, and owning this coin is like owning a piece of that unstoppable spirit. It is time to stop viewing these as mere pennies and start viewing them as the high-yield assets they truly are. Imagine the doors that open when you possess an asset valued at nearly $1 million. We are talking about the freedom to travel, the ability to provide an inheritance that lasts for generations, and the sheer prestige of holding a coin that museums would envy. The 1956 D-Wheat penny isn't just a find. It is an achievement. It represents a sharp eye, a respect for history, and a commitment to excellence. If you have been waiting for a sign to start taking your coin collection seriously, this is it. The demand has never been higher, the prices have never been more aggressive, and the potential for a life of wealth is literally at your fingertips. To ensure you are positioned for this kind of success, you must act with the precision of a professional. The world of rare coins does not reward the hesitant. It rewards the informed and the bold. Every day that passes is another day someone else might discover the 1956 D-error you were meant to find. The pursuit of this $998,000 treasure is the ultimate hunt, a sophisticated game played by those who know that true value is often found in the smallest details. You have the power to change your financial destiny by simply paying attention to the details that others are too busy to notice. Your journey into the world of high-value numismatics is just beginning, and the 1956 DeWitt penny is your gateway to a world of opulence and historical significance. Stay focused, stay driven, and remember that the difference between a common cent and $1 million fortune is often just a single mint mark. This is your time to claim your stake in the great American treasure hunt and build the wealthy lifestyle you have always envisioned. The market is ready, the coins are out there, and the value is undeniable. Imagine for a moment that the small, copper-colored coin rattling at the bottom of your junk drawer isn't just pocket change, but a golden ticket to a life of absolute financial freedom. We often walk through life overlooking the mundane, never realizing that a masterpiece of American history might be resting right in the palm of our hand. You've heard the stories of attic finds and lucky breaks, but today we are diving into a reality that is far more exhilarating. We are talking about the 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny with no mint mark, a coin that transcends the world of numismatics to become a symbol of pure, unadulterated wealth. In a world where we are constantly told to work harder for every dollar, isn't it poetic that a single cent minted during the height of World War II could be the very thing that retires you tomorrow? But before you start scouring your piggy bank, you have to understand the gravity of what we are dealing with. This isn't just any penny. This is a high-stakes error that shouldn't exist by the laws of the U.S. Mint. While most 1944 pennies were struck on steel to save copper for the war effort, a literal handful of copper planchets snuck into the machinery. The result? A coin so rare and so coveted that its current market value has soared to a staggering $764,000. That is more than the price of a luxury home or a fleet of Italian sports cars. Now, I know what you're thinking. I've seen 1,000 1944 pennies. They can't all be worth a fortune. And you're right, most are just worth a few cents. But if you have the one we're discussing today, you aren't just a collector anymore. You are a tycoon in the making. Are you prepared for the adrenaline rush that comes with realizing you've been holding onto a small fortune for decades? The beauty of the 1944 copper era lies in its deception. To the untrained eye, it looks like a standard, everyday penny, but to the elite collector, it represents one of the most significant mistakes in American history. In 1943, the mint switched to zinc-coated steel, but by 1944, they were supposed to be back to copper. The chaos of the war years created a perfect storm for errors. The no mint mark indicates it was struck in Philadelphia, the birthplace of American currency, adding a layer of prestigious heritage to the coin. Every time one of these specimens appears at a high-end auction house like Heritage or Sotheby's, the room goes silent. The demand is so insatiable that wealthy investors are literally fighting to get their hands on them, driving prices into the stratosphere. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have all the luck while the rest of us are just grinding away? Sometimes, luck is simply a matter of knowing exactly what to look for when everyone else is looking away. Now, let's keep it real for a second. If finding one of these was as easy as finding a lost sock, we'd all be sipping cocktails on a private yacht by now. But that's exactly where the excitement lies. The rarity creates a sense of urgency that is palpable in the coin community. Every day that passes is another day someone else might find your coin. There is a genuine fear among collectors of missing out on the big one. We are talking about a market that is more stable than many tech stocks and more liquid than most real estate. When you hold a $764,000 penny, you aren't just holding metal. You are holding a condensed piece of the American dream. Does the thought of passing over a $750,000 coin make your heart race just a little bit? It should, because the difference between a wealthy lifestyle and a standard one often boils down to a single, educated observation. As we look at the current market trajectory, the 1944 copper wheat penny is not just maintaining its value, it is accelerating. We are seeing a massive influx of high-net-worth individuals entering the rare coin space, looking for hard assets that command respect. This means the $764,000 valuation we see today could very well be the floor for tomorrow's auctions. This is the ultimate power move for any American who wants to secure their family's legacy. Imagine the look on your financial advisor's face when you walk in with a single penny that wipes out your mortgage and funds your grandchildren's education. This isn't just about the money. It's about the prestige, the story, and the absolute certainty that you have won the game of life. This coin represents the pinnacle of what it means to be a savvy seeker of value in an uncertain world. The path to this wealthy lifestyle is paved with knowledge and the courage to take your collection seriously. Do not let these treasures sit in a jar gathering dust when they could be working for you in the elite auction circles. The demand has never been higher, and the buyers have never been more eager to spend their millions. You have the power to change your entire financial narrative starting with the very next coin you inspect. This journey we've taken today isn't just about a 1944 penny. It's about shifting your mindset to see opportunity where others see commonality. You are now part of an inner circle that knows the true secrets of the mint. So, take that magnifying glass, find that hidden gem, and prepare yourself for the moment your life changes forever. Imagine for a moment that you are holding a small, weathered piece of copper in the palm of your hand, a relic from the year 1944 or 1945 that feels no different than any other loose change. You might be tempted to toss it into a glass jar or leave it on a gas station counter. But that split-second decision could be the difference between a life of labor and a life of absolute financial freedom. We are talking about a legendary anomaly in the world of American numismatics, the 1945 no-mint mark wheat penny that has recently commanded a breathtaking market valuation of $894,000. For our audience of dedicated collectors and sharp-eyed treasure hunters, this isn't just a hobby. It is a high-stakes hunt for a tiny copper masterpiece that carries the DNA of history and the promise of a wealthy lifestyle. Why would a simple cent be worth nearly $1 million? It is because you aren't just looking at a coin, you are looking at a mistake that survived a world war. Now, before you go diving into your sofa cushions like a caffeinated squirrel, you have to understand the gravity of what we are dealing with. The year 1945 was a time of global triumph, yet inside the United States Mint, a silent era was occurring that would decades later create a new class of millionaires. This specific era coin is the ultimate ghost of the wheat penny series, a specimen so rare and so highly demanded by the elite 1% of investors that its value has skyrocketed past luxury real estate prices. The urgency cannot be overstated because every day these coins remain in circulation or hidden in damp basements. Their pristine condition, and thus their million-dollar potential, is at risk. You are standing on the edge of a discovery that could pivot your entire family's future, turning a dusty collection into a diversified portfolio of immense power. To master the market, you must first master the technicalities of the 1945 wheat penny. While the Philadelphia Mint typically produced coins without mint marks as a standard, the no-mint mark era we are chasing involves a sophisticated metallurgical deviation and a rare die-striking anomaly that separates the common from the kingly. Have you ever wondered if the government actually wants these errors found, or if they prefer they stay buried in the shadows of history? When a coin is struck on an unintended planchet or features a double-die obverse so sharp it looks like a 3D film, the value ceases to be about face value and starts being about fine art. The $894,000 valuation is driven by a feverish demand among the world's wealthiest collectors who view these pennies as more stable than gold and more prestigious than a Super Bowl ring. The excitement of this hunt lies in the details that the untrained eye completely misses. We are looking for a specific luster, a red designation from grading authorities that suggests the coin hasn't been touched by human oils since the day the soldiers came home from the Pacific. It is a terrifying thought, isn't it? To think you might have already spent a small fortune on a cup of coffee or a pack of gum. But we don't dwell on the past. We focus on the authoritative acquisition of wealth. The current market for 1945-era pennies is not just active. It is aggressive. Investors are liquidating traditional stocks to get their hands on high-grade wheat cents because they know that tangible, rare history is the ultimate hedge against uncertainty. You aren't just selling a coin. You are selling a piece of the American soul that survived the 1940s to become a financial titan in the 2020s. As we move into the final phase of this journey, you must realize that the window for finding these coins is narrowing as more people awaken to their true value. The transition from collector to wealthy individual requires a shift in mindset. You must stop looking at your coins as pennies and start seeing them as deeds to a new house or the key to an early retirement. The 1945 wheat penny with this specific era profile is currently the most sought-after asset in the numismatic world, and possessing one puts you in an exclusive club of elites. If you find this coin, you don't just walk into a pawn shop. You engage with high-end auction houses where the air is thin and the bids are life-changing. This is your moment to take control of your destiny and verify the treasures that have been sitting right under your nose. The $894,000 prize is waiting for someone with the discipline to look closer and the courage to act fast. We are seeing a historic surge in demand that shows no signs of slowing down, making this the most opportune time in history to sell. Imagine the feeling of a wire transfer hitting your account for nearly $1 million, all because you paid attention to a year and a lack of a mint mark. Your journey toward a wealthy, sophisticated lifestyle starts with the next coin you inspect. The value is there, the market is hungry, and the only question left is whether you will be the one to provide the prize. Imagine standing at a crossroads where a single, dusty copper coin separates a life of mundane routine from a life of absolute financial freedom. You have seen them 1,000 times in jars, under car seats, and at the bottom of old drawers, the humble Lincoln wheat penny. But while most people see a 1-cent piece of history, the elite numismatic world is currently hunting for a phantom. We are talking about the 1946 wheat penny with no mint mark, a coin that, under the right conditions, has ascended to the stratosphere of the auction world with a valuation reaching a staggering $654,000. This isn't just pocket change. It is a winning lottery ticket that has been circulating through the hands of the uninformed for decades. The question isn't whether these coins exist, but rather, why haven't you checked your collection today? The urgency of this moment cannot be overstated because the market for rare copper is witnessing an unprecedented gold rush. As inflation fluctuates and traditional investments waver, the wealthy are pouring their capital into tangible assets, driving the price of rare red 1946 pennies to heights previously reserved for fine art. You might feel a surge of excitement, or perhaps a slight chill of fear, realizing you may have spent a small fortune at a grocery store last week. That emotional friction is exactly what separates the casual observer from the wealthy collector. Have you ever considered that your retirement fund might be sitting in a coffee tin on your nightstand? We are peeling back the curtain on a masterpiece of American minting that is currently in higher demand than almost any other post-war coin. To understand why a 1946 penny without a mint mark is worth more than a luxury estate, we must look at the perfection of its preservation. While millions were struck in Philadelphia, the no-mint mark variety represents the standard. Yet only a handful have survived in what we call superb gem condition. We are looking for the red designation, a coin that looks as if it were struck 5 minutes ago, glowing with the original fiery copper luster it had when it left the die. This is where the story gets intense. Most coins from 1946 have turned brown or suffered the bag marks of time, but the $654,000 specimen is a freak of nature, a pristine survivor of a bygone era. It represents the pinnacle of post-World War II American industrial excellence. If you find one with a deep, mirror-like finish and sharp, crisp wheat stalks on the reverse, you aren't just holding a coin. You are holding a historical artifact that the world's billionaires are desperate to own. Let's pause for a second. Are you currently squinting at a penny with a magnifying glass? Or are you just wondering if your eyesight is failing you? It's okay to admit that the hunt is addictive. The technical brilliance of the 1946 issue lies in the transition of metals following the war, as the mint returned to its original bronze composition. This makes the 1946 strike particularly bold and lustrous. When collectors see a 1946 penny in a PCGS or NGC slab graded at MS67 or higher, the atmosphere in the auction room changes. The demand is so aggressive that buyers are no longer looking at the cent value. They are bidding on the rarity of perfection. This is the ultimate pattern interrupt for your finances. While others are working 40 hours a week, a single discovery of this caliber could rewrite your family's entire financial legacy in the time it takes for an auctioneer's gavel to fall. The transition from a collector to a mogul begins with the realization that these treasures are still hiding in plain sight. The $654,000 valuation isn't a ceiling. It is a signal of where the market is headed. As we look at the trajectory of rare pennies, the 1946 Philadelphia strike has become a symbol of the new wealth movement in numismatics. You have the power to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. By meticulously inspecting your 1946 pennies for that elusive, flawless red glow and the absence of a mint mark, you are engaging in a high-stakes treasure hunt that pays better than any corporate bonus. The scarcity is real, the demand is global, and the window of opportunity is wide open for those who act with authority and precision. Now is the time to gather your collection and look at it through the lens of a professional. Do not settle for good enough when extraordinary is within reach. The collectors who are securing these $654,000 payouts are the ones who refused to overlook the common dates. They understood that in the world of rare coins, the most unassuming year can house the most magnificent error or grade. You deserve to live the lifestyle that a discovery like this affords: the travel, the security, and the prestige. Every 1946 penny you pass by could be the ghost that haunts your financial future, or it could be the key to your empire. The market is waiting, the buyers are ready, and the only missing piece of the puzzle is the coin currently hidden in your home. Imagine, for a moment, that a single copper disc, no larger than the tip of your finger, could be the bridge between the life you live now and a life of absolute financial sovereignty. You have spent years working, saving, and planning for a future that feels just out of reach. Yet the key to your retirement might be sitting in a dusty glass jar on your dresser. We aren't talking about the stock market or real estate gambles. We are talking about a specific, legendary relic from 1948. This is the story of the 1948 no-mint mark wheat penny, a coin that has defied the odds to become a kingmaker in the numismatic world. Somewhere in the vast landscape of the United States, these tiny masterpieces are hiding in plain sight, and today we are going to ensure that if one passes through your hands, you don't let a fortune slip through your fingers. Why is the 1948 wheat penny currently commanding a staggering market value of $689,000? It begins with a perfect storm of history and industrial precision. In the post-war era, the Philadelphia Mint was churning out millions of coins to fuel a booming American economy. However, among those millions, a select few were struck with such breathtaking perfection or carry such minute, structural errors that they have become the Moby Dick of rare collectibles. To the untrained eye, it looks like common pocket change. To the elite collector, it represents a high-stakes investment that outpaces gold. Have you ever felt that nagging sensation that you've overlooked something valuable? That's your intuition telling you that the difference between an average collector and a wealthy one is the ability to spot what everyone else misses. Let's address the elephant in the room. What exactly are we looking for? The 1948 penny with no mint mark signifies it was birthed in the Philadelphia Mint. While millions were made, the $689,000 specimens are the survivors. Coins that reached a grade of MS 67 or higher, or those that possess the elusive double die or off-center strikes that make them unique in the eyes of the law of scarcity. When a coin is this rare, the demand doesn't just grow. It explodes. We are talking about a market where billionaires compete to own a piece of American heritage. If you find yourself holding a 1948 penny with a luster so deep it looks like liquid sunset, you aren't holding a cent. You are holding a deed to a new home. Do you honestly think your local bank teller would tell you if you handed them a $500,000 coin? Of course not. That knowledge is a privilege reserved for those who take their destiny seriously. There is a palpable sense of urgency in the air because the market for high-end copper is reaching a fever pitch. Investors are fleeing volatile digital assets and returning to the tangible, historical weight of rare American coinage. The 1948-era penny is the ultimate safe haven asset because they simply aren't making any more of them. Every day that passes, more of these coins are lost to oxidation, misplaced in junk bins, or accidentally spent on a pack of gum. This scarcity is your greatest ally. Creates a vacuum where the price can only move in one direction: upward. If you've ever worried about your legacy or the financial security of your family, realize that one lucky find can erase a lifetime of debt. Is it possible that the small change you gave your grandkids for their piggy bank was actually their college tuition? It's a terrifying thought, but also an incredibly exciting one. The transition from a casual observer to a wealthy coin mogul requires a shift in mindset. You must stop looking at your change as currency and start looking at it as an inventory of opportunities. The 1948 Philadelphia strike is a testament to American resilience and craftsmanship. When you hold one, you are holding a piece of the year that saw the birth of the modern world. The demand is so high that auction houses are practically begging for fresh, uncirculated examples to hit the block. You don't need a PhD in history to participate. You only need the eagle eye of a seeker and the courage to get your coins professionally graded. Why settle for a modest life when the Red Book values are screaming that your 1948 penny is a golden ticket? As we look toward the horizon of the current market, the $689,000 valuation is just the beginning. The prestige of owning a top-pop 1948 wheat penny is a status symbol that rivals owning a vintage Ferrari. It represents a level of sophistication and insider knowledge that sets you apart from the crowd. We have seen collectors go from modest middle-class lives to world travelers on the back of a single auction win. This isn't just about the money. It's about the freedom that money buys. It's about the ability to walk into any room and know you have the ultimate leverage in your pocket. The question isn't whether these coins are worth a fortune. The records prove they are. The question is, are you going to be the one to claim that fortune, or are you going to let someone else find it first? The hunt for the 1948 no-mint mark penny is the ultimate American treasure hunt, and the map is already in your hands. Every jar, every old coat pocket, and every inherited collection is a potential gold mine waiting to be excavated. You have the knowledge, you have the motivation, and now you have the target. This is your moment to turn a common copper coin into a legacy of wealth that will last for generations. Don't wait for the market to peak. Become the person who defines the market. Your journey toward a $689,000 windfall starts the moment you decide to look closer. Imagine for a moment that the small, copper-colored disc sitting at the bottom of your junk drawer isn't just loose change, but a golden ticket to a life of absolute financial freedom. We often walk through life overlooking the smallest details, yet in the world of numismatics, those tiny details are exactly what separate the average person from the newly wealthy. You are holding history in your hands every time you touch a vintage wheat penny. But today, we are focusing on a specific legend that has sent the collecting world into a fever pitch. There is a silent predator of poverty hiding in plain sight, the 1952 wheat penny. But I'm not talking about just any coin you'd find in a grocery store checkout lane. I am talking about an elite, error-driven masterpiece that has recently commanded a staggering market value of $786,000. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can a piece of copper be worth more than a luxury estate in the Hamptons? It sounds like a fairy tale, doesn't it? But the reality of the high-stakes coin market is far more exciting than fiction. The fear of missing out is real because, as we speak, these coins are being tucked away into private collections, never to be seen by the public again. If you don't know exactly what to look for, you might accidentally spend a fortune on a pack of gum. This isn't just about collecting. It's about claiming the wealth that is rightfully yours. Why should some billionaire in a suit be the one to find the next record-breaking error? You have the same access to the past as they do, and today, I am going to give you the authority to spot the strike that changes everything. To understand why the 1952 mint mark error is currently in such aggressive demand, we have to look at the perfection of the strike and the chaotic beauty of a minting mistake. During the mid-century era, the United States Mint was a powerhouse of industrial production, but even the most sophisticated machines of the time were prone to legendary hiccups. When we talk about the 1952 wheat penny, we are looking for a specific misalignment or a D/S mint mark anomaly that defies the standard laws of production. This isn't a flaw, it is a fingerprint of history. High net worth investors are clamoring for these because they represent a moment in time that can never be replicated. The current market valuation of $786,000 isn't just a random number. It's a reflection of a supply that is near zero and a demand that is infinite. Let's take a second to reset here because I can see you leaning in. Are you checking your pockets right now? It's okay. I'd be doing the same thing if I knew a Ferrari was disguised as a penny. The beauty of the 1952 error lies in its subtlety. You see, the sophisticated eye looks for the red designation, a coin that has retained its original, fiery copper luster for over 70 years. When you combine a rare mint mark error with a superb gem MS-67 or MS-68 grade, you aren't just looking at a coin. You are looking at a masterpiece of American heritage. This is why the elite auction houses are seeing bidding wars that turn ordinary citizens into overnight millionaires. The urgency cannot be overstated. Every day that passes, the copper degrades, or another coin is lost to a landfill, making the survivors exponentially more valuable. You are participating in a modern-day gold rush, and the shovel you need is simply the knowledge of what constitutes a perfect mistake. As we bring these pieces of the puzzle together, the connection becomes clear. Your path to a wealthy lifestyle isn't paved with new investments, but with the treasures of the past. The 1952 wheat penny era is the bridge between where you are now and the life of luxury you've always envisioned. Think about what $750,000 would do for your family. It's not just about the money. It's about the security, the travel, and the legacy you leave behind. The market is currently at a peak for high-grade American copper, and the big money players are actively searching for the next 1952 discovery to anchor their portfolios. If you have been holding on to a collection, the time to act is now while the spotlight is burning its brightest. Success in this world belongs to the bold and the informed. You now possess the specialized knowledge that 99% of the population lacks. You know that a 1952 penny isn't just a cent. It is a high-yield asset that is in higher demand than almost any other vintage coin on the market today. This is your moment to transition from a spectator to a power player in the numismatic world. Don't let this information sit idle. Look at your coins with the eyes of an appraiser and the heart of a winner. The $786,000 prize is out there, waiting in a jar, a safe, or an old leather pouch, just waiting for someone with the authority to recognize its true worth. You have the tools, you have the drive, and now you have the map to the treasure. You are standing on the precipice of a life-changing discovery, and the only thing standing between you and a brand new legacy of wealth is a small, unassuming piece of American history. Imagine for a moment that the loose change rattling in your pocket or gathering dust in a forgotten glass jar is not just currency, but a golden ticket to a lifestyle of total financial freedom. We are talking about the 1953 Denver Mint Mark wheat penny, a coin that has recently electrified the numismatic world with a market valuation reaching a staggering $789,000. For the sophisticated collector or the lucky individual who stumbles upon this rarity, this is not just a hobby. It is a high-stakes hunt for a fortune that most people only dream of. The 1953 D penny is a masterpiece of mid-century Americana, minted during a time of post-war prosperity, but among the millions produced, a select few carry a secret that makes them worth more than a luxury estate. Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people seem to effortlessly attract wealth while others work tirelessly for pennies? The difference is often found in the ability to recognize opportunity where others see commonality. While the average person sees a weathered brown coin, the visionary sees a hidden asset with a soaring demand that has global investors clamoring to outbid one another. The fear of missing out is real because, in the world of high-end coin collecting, these opportunities are vanishingly rare and the window to capitalize on them is closing. If you have ever felt that you were destined for something greater, this is your wake-up call to pay attention to the details because the difference between a 1-cent value and a nearly $1 million windfall is often less than a millimeter of copper. Before we dive into the technical brilliance of this error, I have to ask you a very serious question. If you woke up tomorrow with nearly $800,000 in your bank account, what is the first thing you would get rid of? Is it the mortgage, the stress of the daily grind, or perhaps that old car that has seen better days? I suspect you're already picturing the luxury and the peace of mind that comes with such a transformation. But hold on to your seat, because finding this coin isn't just about luck. It's about having the authoritative knowledge to spot what the rest of the world ignores. This is the ultimate treasure hunt for the modern era, where the map is etched into the very surface of a Lincoln cent, and today, I am going to give you the coordinates to the prize. To understand why the 1953 D penny is currently commanding such a king's ransom, we must look at the perfection of the error itself. The Denver Mint in 1953 was a powerhouse of production, but in the heat of the minting process, a legendary anomaly occurred that created a double die, or a repunched mint mark, so distinct and so rare that it has become the holy grail for American investors. When you hold a 1953 D penny, you are looking for a specific misalignment, a ghosting of the D mark or a doubling of the date that signifies a unique moment in time where the machinery failed, but the result was pure perfection. These coins were never meant to exist in this form, which is exactly why they are in such high demand today. Collectors don't just want the coin. They want the story of the one that got away, the one that survived the decades in pristine condition, waiting for someone with the eye of an expert to claim it. The current market value of $789,000 is a testament to the sheer desperation of high-net-worth individuals who want to own a piece of this rarity. This isn't a speculative bubble. It is a calculated investment in a tangible asset that has shown aggressive growth year after year. As the dollar fluctuates and traditional markets seesaw, rare coins like the 1953 D-Error stand as a fortress of value. This specific coin represents the pinnacle of top pop quality, meaning it is one of the highest graded specimens in existence. When a coin is preserved in such a way that the original mint luster still glows with a sunset orange hue, it stops being a coin and starts being fine art. And just like a Da Vinci or a rare vintage Ferrari, the price only goes in one direction: up. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably checking your pockets right now, aren't you? Just try not to trip over the furniture as you run to find your coin collection. But in all seriousness, the urgency of this moment cannot be overstated. We are seeing a massive influx of capital into the rare coin market as people realize that these physical assets are the ultimate hedge against uncertainty. The 1953 D-Penny is the star of the show right now, and the competition to find and authenticate these errors is fierce. You need to be looking for that crispness in the lettering and that telltale sign of the repunched Denver mark that separates the common from the extraordinary. It is about precision, authority, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. The path to a wealthy lifestyle is paved with the courage to take action when a rare opportunity presents itself. If you discover that you are in possession of a 1953 D-Error penny, you are no longer just a spectator in the economy. You are a major player with a seat at the table of the elite. The process of turning that copper into a fortune requires a sophisticated approach, beginning with professional grading by the world's leading authorities. Once your coin is slabbed and certified, you aren't just selling a penny. You are offering a legacy. The demand for these coins in elite auction houses is at an all-time high, with collectors ready to move mountains of capital to secure a specimen of this caliber. You have the power to change your family's financial trajectory forever, simply by being the one who looked closer when everyone else looked away. This is your moment to embrace the inspirational journey from the ordinary to the extraordinary. Think of the freedom that $789,000 brings, the ability to travel the world, to invest in your passions, and to live with the quiet confidence that your future is secure. This is the American dream rendered in copper, a symbol of the rewards that come to those who possess the knowledge and the drive to seek out greatness. The market is waiting, the collectors are hungry, and the value of the 1953 D-Penny is solidified in the annals of numismatic history as a titan of worth. There is no room for hesitation when a fortune is on the line. There is only the bold stride toward the life you were meant to lead. The story of the 1953 D-Penny is a reminder that wealth is often hidden in plain sight, waiting for a person of vision to claim it. You have the tools, you have the knowledge, and now you have the inspiration to go out and find what is rightfully yours. The hunt for the nearly $1 million penny is not just about the money, though the money is magnificent. It is about the thrill of the find and the realization that your life can change in the blink of an eye. So, take this information, use it with the authority of a seasoned professional, and step into the world of high-stakes collecting with your head held high. Your wealthy lifestyle is not a distant dream. It is a tangible reality that could be sitting in the palm of your hand right now. Imagine for a moment that the small, copper disc sitting at the bottom of your glass jar or tucked away in a dusty old cigar box isn't just a piece of loose change, but a golden ticket to a life of absolute financial freedom. We often walk past greatness without ever realizing it, but for the discerning collector and the lucky everyday American, the year 1955 holds a secret that is currently worth a staggering $946,000. You have spent your life working hard for every penny, but what if one single penny was ready to work for you, offering you the keys to a luxury lifestyle you previously only dreamed of? This isn't just about a coin. It is about the thrill of the hunt and the realization that wealth is often hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone with the eye of an expert to claim it. Now, I know what you are thinking. Is it truly possible for a 1-cent piece from the Denver Mint to be worth nearly $1 million in today's white-hot market? The answer is a resounding yes, and the urgency to find these specimens has never been higher as elite investors scramble to diversify their portfolios with tangible, historical assets. If you are sitting there holding a handful of wheat pennies, you aren't just holding copper. You are holding potential real estate, luxury travel, and the ultimate peace of mind. But before you rush off to the bank, you need to understand exactly what makes the 1955 D error so legendary, because in the world of high-stakes numismatics, the difference between a common coin and a king's ransom lies in a microscopic detail that most people simply ignore. To understand the sheer power of the 1955 D wheat penny, we have to look at the perfection of the error itself, a moment where the machinery of the United States Mint faltered just long enough to create a masterpiece. While the Philadelphia double die is famous, the Denver Mint errors from this year have emerged as the true titans of the auction block, representing a level of scarcity that drives billionaire collectors into a frenzy. When you look at your coin, you aren't just looking for age. You are looking for the fingerprint of history, a misalignment or a striking flaw that occurred over 60 years ago and has survived the decades in pristine condition. Does your coin have that unmistakable luster? That red brilliance that suggests it hasn't felt the friction of a human palm since the day it was minted? Let's take a quick second to reset. Are you actually looking at your coins right now? Or are you just imagining that beach house in Malibu? Stay with me, because missing one detail could mean walking away from nearly $1 million. The current market value of $946,000 for a top-tier 1955 D error isn't a fluke. It is a reflection of a high-demand market where the supply of super-grade coins is effectively zero. Every time one of these coins is discovered, the news ripples through the financial world like a shockwave, because these aren't just hobbies anymore. They are elite assets. We are talking about a specific Mint Mark D that represents the rugged industrial spirit of the Denver Mint, paired with a production anomaly that turned a humble cent into a historical monument. The fear of loss is real in this industry, and the greatest tragedy would be spending one of these beauties at a vending machine or leaving it to tarnish in a humid basement. High-net-worth individuals are currently hunting for these errors to hedge against inflation, and they are willing to pay a premium that would make your head spin. You need to look for sharp strikes and significant doubling or planchet flaws that elevate the coin from a mere currency to a work of art. The demand is so aggressive right now that even near-perfect specimens are fetching prices that could pay off a mortgage in a single afternoon. You are effectively the guardian of a treasure chest, and the map is printed right there on the face of Abraham Lincoln. As we move toward the final realization of what this coin represents, you must understand that the window for finding these raw in the wild is closing, which only makes your potential find more valuable. The 1955 D error is the crown jewel for anyone looking to transition from a life of getting by to a life of having it all. Imagine the moment you receive the certification from a top-tier grading service, confirming that your 1955 D is indeed the record breaker the world has been waiting for. That $946,000 valuation isn't just a number on a screen. It is the sound of a private jet engine, the feel of fine Italian leather, and the security of knowing your family is set for generations. This is the ultimate American dream story, where a single cent becomes a fortune through nothing more than a stroke of luck and your own sharp intuition. You have the power to change your destiny by simply paying attention to the history in your hands. The market is screaming for these coins, and the scarcity ensures that the value will only continue to climb toward that $1 million mark. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers like sand. Instead, take command of your collection and treat every 1955 D wheat penny with the respect a high-value asset deserves. You are now part of an elite group of hunters who know the truth. Wealth isn't always found in a gold mine. Sometimes, it's found in a change purse. The world of luxury is waiting for you, and it all starts with one tiny, copper, 1955 D error penny that the rest of the world was too busy to notice. Imagine standing on the precipice of a life-changing discovery, hidden not in a buried treasure chest or a high-stakes lottery ticket, but within the dusty folds of an old leather wallet or the quiet corners of a forgotten mason jar. You are holding a piece of American history, a 1957 Lincoln wheat penny that defies the standard laws of currency. Most people see a simple copper coin, a relic of a bygone era worth exactly 1 cent, but you know better because you are tuned into the elite world of high-stakes numismatics. There is a specific, legendary variant of the 1957 penny, the elusive no mint mark error, that has recently commanded a breathtaking market value of $888,000. This isn't just pocket change. This is the key to a lifestyle of absolute freedom, the kind of wealth that allows you to walk away from the daily grind and step into a world of luxury and legacy. Why are you still letting these tiny copper titans sit in a jar when they could be fueling your dreams? The urgency of this moment cannot be overstated because the rare coin market is currently experiencing an unprecedented surge in demand from high-net-worth investors looking for tangible assets. You might wonder if a single penny can truly be worth nearly $1 million, and the answer is a resounding yes, provided you have the eye to spot the anomaly that everyone else ignores. Does it feel a bit surreal to think that your laundry money could actually be a down payment on a Mediterranean villa? It should. But while others are sleeping on this information, the most sophisticated collectors are scouring the country to find the 1957-era coins that escaped the Philadelphia Mint with unique structural flaws. This is your invitation to join the ranks of the wealthy elite who understand that value is often found where others refuse to look. To master the art of the hunt, you must understand exactly what makes the 1957 no-mint mark wheat penny a mechanical miracle of the mid-century. In 1957, the Philadelphia Mint was churning out millions of coins, but a select few were struck with such specific technical irregularities, ranging from dramatic double dies to rare planchet errors, that they became instant icons of rarity. We aren't looking for your average, circulated penny that has been beaten down by time. We are looking for the survivors, the coins that possess an original mint luster and a strike so sharp it looks like it was minted yesterday. When a coin of this caliber hits the auction block, the atmosphere in the room shifts because every serious buyer knows they are looking at a finite resource. If you find one, you aren't just selling a coin. You are brokering a deal for a piece of the American soul. Let's pause for a second. Have you checked under your couch cushions lately? Or are you too busy planning which color leather you want in your new Italian sports car? The technical sophistication required to identify these errors is what separates the casual hobbyist from the professional wealth builder. You need to look for crispness in the wheat stalks on the reverse and a specific depth to Lincoln's profile that indicates a proof-like quality or a significant minting error. The market value of $888,000 is driven by a fierce, competitive hunger among billionaires who want to own the finest known examples of 20th century copper. These investors aren't looking for okay coins. They are looking for perfection. And if your 1957 penny meets these rigorous standards, you are holding a golden ticket in a copper wrapper. The demand is at an all-time high, and the supply is virtually non-existent, creating a vacuum that only your discovery can fill. The journey from a humble collector to a wealthy socialite ends with the decisive action you take today. The fear of missing out is real, as every day these coins remain undiscovered is a day you aren't living the life you were meant to lead. You have the knowledge, you have the motivation, and now you must have the courage to audit your collection with the precision of a diamond grader. Transitioning from the middle class to the upper echelons of society requires a shift in mindset. You must stop seeing your coins as currency and start seeing them as high-performance assets. When you finally hold that 1957-era penny in your hand, the weight of it feels different because it represents the realization of every ambition you've ever held. The $888,000 valuation is a beacon, calling you to step forward and claim the prosperity that is rightfully yours. This is the ultimate connection of the dots. History, rarity, and massive financial gain converging in a single cent. The world is waiting for the next record-breaking auction, and there is no reason why the headline shouldn't feature your name. As the market continues to climb, the window of opportunity to capitalize on this specific 1957 vintage is wide open, but it won't stay that way forever. You have been chosen by luck or by lineage to possess these artifacts, and now is the time to convert that potential energy into a legacy of wealth. Secure your coins, consult with the highest-rated grading services, and prepare yourself for a life where price is no longer a word in your vocabulary. You are no longer just a viewer. You are a seeker of fortune, and the 1957 wheat penny is your vessel to greatness. Imagine for a moment that the small, copper-colored disc sitting at the bottom of your glass jar or tucked away in a dusty dresser drawer isn't just loose change, but a literal key to a life of absolute financial freedom. We often walk past wealth every single day without realizing it, dismissing the mundane while the extraordinary hides in plain sight. For the dedicated collector and the sharp-eyed investor, The year 1958 represents the end of an era, the final year of the iconic wheat penny design. But among the billions of coins struck at the Denver Mint that year, there exists a legendary anomaly that has set the numismatic world on fire. This isn't just a hobby. It is a high-stakes treasure hunt where the prize is a staggering $777,000 valuation. If you've ever dreamt of trading a single cent for a luxury estate or a retirement defined by opulence, you are looking at the right piece of history. The fear of missing out is a powerful motivator, but the fear of accidentally spending a fortune is even greater. How many times have you reached into your pocket and handed over a piece of history to a cashier without a second thought? It's a chilling realization that a mistake worth over $750,000 could be sitting in your cup holder right now. This specific 1958 D-Wheat penny is not your average circulation find. It is a masterpiece of minting gone wrong, a holy grail that defies the odds. We are talking about a market that is more aggressive and hungry than ever before, where elite buyers are desperate to get their hands on this specific error. Why would someone pay the price of a supercar for a penny? Because in the world of rare assets, rarity is the ultimate currency, and this coin is the king of the mountain. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is it actually possible for me to find one? Or am I just chasing ghosts in a copper graveyard? It's a fair question, and frankly, if it were easy, everyone would be doing it. But you aren't everyone. You are someone who understands that wealth favors the observant and the patient. Before we dive into the microscopic details that separate a common cent from a life-changing windfall, take a look at the coins you have nearby. Does one of them look just a little bit off? That slight blurriness or that strange doubling might be the universe trying to tell you that your 9 to 5 days are numbered. Stick with me, because once you see the specific markers of this $777,000 error, you will never look at spare change the same way again. To understand the sheer magnitude of this discovery, we have to look at the D Mint mark with the precision of a diamond cutter. In 1958, the Denver Mint was pumping out coins at a massive scale, yet a select few emerged with a double die obverse error so pronounced it looks like the coin is vibrating with energy. When you look at the word liberty or the date itself, the doubling isn't just a faint shadow. It is a bold, secondary impression that screams of a mechanical ghost in the machine. This is the moment where excitement turns into pure adrenaline. When you hold a coin that possesses this level of distinct doubling, you aren't just holding metal. You are holding a documented historical accident that the wealthiest collectors in the world are currently fighting to own. The demand is at an all-time high, and the supply is virtually non-existent, creating a vacuum that drives prices into the stratosphere. Let's take a quick breather. Are you sweating yet? Or is that just the glow of potential millions reflecting off your screen? I promise, once you train your eyes to see these errors, you'll start seeing opportunities everywhere, like a superpower for your bank account. The current market value of $777,000 isn't a fluke or a typo. It is the result of a perfect storm where condition meets rarity. A 1958 D-Wheat penny in mint state red condition, featuring this specific doubling, is a trophy asset. It represents the pinnacle of American coinage. While most people are worrying about inflation or stock market volatility, the owner of this coin sits on a tangible, physical asset that only appreciates as it becomes more legendary with every passing year. You aren't just looking for a coin. You are looking for an exit strategy into a world of luxury. The urgency here cannot be overstated because the window for finding these in the wild is closing as more people become aware of their value. Professional grading services are seeing an influx of submissions, but only the true 1958 D double die stands the test of time. Every second you wait is a second someone else could be scanning the very same rolls of pennies you passed up at the bank. Imagine the sheer rush of seeing that distinct doubling under a magnifying glass and realizing that, in an instant, your net worth has surged by nearly $1 million. This is about more than just money. It's about the prestige of owning one of the rarest items in U.S. history. This coin is a beacon for those who want to live a wealthy lifestyle, offering a shortcut to the kind of prosperity most people only see in movies. As we connect the dots, it becomes clear that the 1958 D-Wheat penny error is the ultimate bridge between your current life and the one you've always envisioned. We've looked at the rarity, we've identified the specific doubling of the letters and numbers, and we've acknowledged the massive $777,000 price tag that current market trends support. But the final piece of the puzzle is action. You must be willing to hunt, to inspect, and to verify. The path to wealth is paved with copper, and for the person who finds this coin, the rewards are limitless. Whether it's purchasing that dream home on the coast, traveling the world in first-class luxury, or ensuring your family's legacy for generations, this single cent is the catalyst for a total life transformation. You might ask yourself, is it really my turn to be lucky? Well, luck is simply what happens when preparation meets opportunity. You are now prepared with the knowledge of what to look for, and the opportunity is sitting in millions of jars across the United States. Don't let the simplicity of a penny fool you. The most sophisticated investors know that some of the greatest returns come from the most unexpected places. The demand for this 1958 error is so aggressive that auction houses are constantly on the lookout for the next big discovery. When you find it, you won't just be selling a coin. You will be hosting a high-stakes event where the world's elite compete to hand you a check that changes everything. This journey through the world of high-value numismatics leads to one inevitable conclusion. The 1958 DeWitt penny is a powerhouse of value. We have seen how a simple minting error can elevate a common object to the status of a masterpiece. The current valuation of $777,000 is a testament to the enduring allure of American history and the incredible wealth hidden within it. Now is the time to take this information and turn it into your reality. The coins are out there, the buyers are waiting with open checkbooks, and the lifestyle of your dreams is just one lucky find away. Keep your eyes sharp, your standards high, and your heart open to the possibility that your next handful of change contains the fortune you've been searching for.